Okay, so the first time I tried to make this video didn't really work out, so let's hope that it works out this time. Okay, so I'm actually really excited for this week's challenge because I really want to show how much, I've got all this stuff over here, but my appreciation for the Beatles. So, most of the stuff that I have that will show my true, slightly creepy, but love for my favorite band is kind of taped to my wall. Excuse me, and I don't really feel like tearing my entire room apart just so I can show you guys all the stuff that I have, but mainly it's just a bunch of pictures that I've drawn, posters, stuff like that. Okay, so starting off, we'll start with the kind of small things. Earrings that have the cover of Abbey Road on them that your grandmother got you for Christmas. Also, when you were obsessed when you make bottle cap earrings of Paul and John, even though they went through the wash and you cannot find the John one anymore. And when you have a bottle cap necklace of it too. Also, when you get guitar picks that look like them, and this one is my lucky guitar pick. Okay, so now we're gonna start the actual tour. Here is my Beatles shirt. Well, the start of the Beatles shirt. I have a lot more. Okay, Beatles Complete Chords Songbook. My friend got this for me when I started to really get into the Beatles, and as you can see, I have just dog-eared the heck out of this thing. You can really see it from the top more, though. I don't know, it's kind of battered. Also, when you get a notebook that says, "All we need is love," just because that has to do with the Beatles. When you get one of their DVDs for Christmas and watch it over and over again and try to share it with the entire world because everyone needs to know how great the Beatles are. When you go to a Broadway play because it is about the Beatles, and your friend who goes with you develops somewhat of a crush on the guy who's playing Paul. No big deal. Okay. When you know you're obsessed with the Beatles, when you have a friend from England who is just as obsessed as you are, and you send each other mail. When you have at least two of their albums, at least your favorite ones, such as mine are Revolver and the White Album. Almost skipped these. When you buy a pair of Chucks just because that's what John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and most likely Ringo Starr wore when they were teenagers because they were popular. When you become so obsessed with the 60s because of your favorite band that you find yourself admiring how pretty Twiggy is, just as teenage girls would have in the 1960s. You start to find posters of her and tape them to your wall. See the one where she has the similar looking sunglasses on. Your sister happens to get these from the Lion King 3D, and you keep them just because they look like Twiggies. When you go to the Fest for Beatles fans and you get an I Slept with Paul McCartney badge, a Beatles John badge, and I'm a official Beatles fan badge, but that was not from the Beatles Fest, that was from Boardwalk. Also, when you get Nowhere Boy, because it has to do with John Lennon, because Aaron Johnson is unbelievably attractive. When you have the Beatles Rock Band, because that is just one of the best games that you can ever get. When you have Beatles trading cards, and not just one pack, but two. When you get one of their wives/girlfriends' autobiographies just because you want to know what it was like for them to live with one of the Beatles. When you have many a shirt of the Beatles, but you just can't find the rest of them because they are probably in the washer. Now we move on to magazines. Oh, also, one more thing. Two more things. When you have a plastic bag, kept it just because it says love. Cirque du Soleil, whatever it is. I really don't want to see that. When you get a pair of high rises, just because it says "Let It Be" on the side. When you get a bunch of magazines, just because one features George Harrison as one of the world's best guitarists, one just because it has the Beatles on it, and one because it says the Beatles were the greatest artists of all time. Then there's Newsweek, where it's celebrating the 50 years. Then you get the John Lennon magazine. Remember in John Lennon from Life, and you rip out one of the pages of him and Yoko walking because it's just so cute. The magazine where Paul says that you glare. Bad glare. Oh, glare's kind of going away. Anyway, magazine where Paul says that he's going to quit smoking weed, even though we all know that's not going to happen. One that is an album-by-album guide of the Beatles. another one from Life that says Remembering George Harrison, and then also 3 books, and look, they're all different sizes, that have to do with the Beatles. Then we have 2 guitars. The black one was my first real guitar, and his name is John, and then the red electric is named George. I also have, I'm going to reach into my magical bag that I got from New York. This is going to be a present from New York to my friend from England, because she got me so much cool stuff from London. But it's a United States dollar with the Beatles on it, and don't worry, that's just a sticker. So this is actually a dollar that I could just use. But my friend spent like $7 on it, so... Okay, so that's all the stuff I have. Okay, now things where you just know you're obsessed. Let's see, listening to their songs every single day. Here, I think there's a video that just came on. Yep. Okay. So, whoops, that's Facebook. Okay. To be thoroughly obsessed with the Beatles, you must have had at least one dream about them. What else? You want to share your love for them with everybody. And you feel lonely and left out when nobody really wants to talk about them. I know that feeling. Cry. When you follow almost every single Beatle page on Twitter and Tumblr, when you have commented on at least almost every single Beatles picture on the Beatles fan page on Facebook, where you have a role-playing account as one of the Beatles or one of their wives or someone that has to do with them, when your Tumblr page is totally all about the Beatles, what are some other things? Oh, when you pick up the guitar just because you want to know how to play Beatles songs, and when the Beatles inspire you to want to be a musician when you grow up. When you find that you are finally part of the Beatle fandom, and that you have become about as sophisticated as them. I don't really know. Oh, when you celebrate their birthdays. And this is a good one, because I think the person, I forget what your name is, said a couple days ago or whatever that Paul's birthday's coming up. What are you doing for Paul's birthday? Every year I get Paul a cake, and I wish him a happy birthday, and I just put his music on all day from the Beatles and from Wings and his solo career. And what else do I do? I put on party hats, and I get balloons and put them everywhere, and we sing happy birthday to him and stuff like that. We do that for all the Beatles birthdays. When you know pretty much everything about them, for instance, I know the fact that John Lennon was scared of the dark, and that he would make Yoko wait till he fell asleep to turn the lights off. When you have at least found your favorite Beatle wife / girlfriend or child, Linda's my favorite, but I have to say Patty. I can connect to Patty a lot. I guess my favorite child would have to be I don't know, because Mary was a really, really cute baby, but I think I like Sean the best, because, he never really got to know John, and I feel bad for him for that, and the fact that Julian kind of complains about how John treated him, but at least he got time to spend with him, even if it wasn't the best. I mean, Sean barely remembers his dad, so, stop complaining, Julian. What else? Oh, when you're able to tell what year it is by their hair. I just realized that on Tumblr. I was looking at it, I was I wonder what year this is. Oh, Paul's hair looks kind of scruffy. It's probably around 65, 66. And I was like, aww. When you know, in spite of all the danger. That's a good one. When you know every word to every song that they have by heart. When you know their less known songs. This is a good one. You are an obsessed Beatles fan when your favorite song, when you either can't find, pick out a favorite song like me, or when your favorite song of theirs is an obscure song. If you say that you like the Beatles a lot and your favorite song is Let It Be, I seriously like Let It Be, but when someone says "Let It Be," they're just, I don't know. I feel like they're not actually thinking about it because it's like one of their most well-known songs, or like "Hey Jude" or stuff like that. What else? Oh, when like me, see, as I wear mod makeup every day. When you wear it, just because their girlfriends usually did, so that you can feel like if the Beatles ever came across you, you could be like, hey. I mean, usually, no, that face, but, when you pretend sometimes that it's like the 1960s, so you can just get away from the, I don't want to live on this planet anymore kind of thing. When you have Beatle friends from, like, different countries that you really can connect with. What else? How about here? Let's go to my Facebook page and see stuff. Scrolling up. Okay. Here we go. Mary's Facebook page. Okay. When your cover page is a picture of Paul's eyes. That's a good one. I guess it would also be like, when you say on your Facebook page that you live in Liverpool, I guess. When you have at least 2, albums for pictures of the Beatles. Let's see. What else? Oh, when anyone says something against the Beatles, you get so mad. That's something. I mean, I've kind of toned down a little bit, but, here's a good one. Really recently, I found that a lot of my old Beatle buddies have turned to the dark side, which would be like One Direction and Justin Bieber. And my opinion is, if you're a fan of the Beatles, I don't know, like a big obsessed fan, then you kind of like frown upon anything that is like One Direction or Justin Bieber, because, you know, as our fandom is, there's no autotune, everything's real, you know, peace and love, stuff like that. And I don't know, I just feel like most people that I know from this fandom don't really like those kinds of bands, and if you do, then you never really like them as much as you said you did to begin with. Because, like someone else said in another video, when you're obsessed with the Beatles, it's kind of hard to have any other obsession as big as Beatles, and if you feel like you're losing the obsession, you feel bad, and you really don't want to lose it, because having an obsession with the Beatles is probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. My confidence is so much better, the way I carry myself, the friends that I've made, you know, that kind of stuff. So I never want to lose this obsession ever. I don't want it to tone down. I don't want it to mellow. Nothing. Okay. This kind of thing. Hold on. This. I don't know if this is probably a bad representation, but it's like other girls, hot guy, lots of makeup and blonde hair. Me! That picture of George! Oh god, that is what life is just like for a Beatle fan. When you know who when you know who Georgina Flood is and you just want to beat her because her artwork is so amazing, that kind of thing. When you have a favorite Beatle, like mine is John. And I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much it. I think I've named, you know, most of it, you know. Okay, so I hope you guys all have a Beatle-tastic day, and, you know, wish Paul, George, John, and Ringo happy birthday, and happy Father's Day, wish your fathers a happy Father's Day, you know, that kind of stuff, and have a great day. Bye!